Hello and welcome. This is Sifu Paul of Kung Fu Athletic Academy. This is a second video in a series of videos. This one here is more about questions and answers. Some of the most common questions and answers or questions that are asked of instructors or that people that are going to be taking classes should ask. The first one that most ask is, what does it cost or how long does it take? Okay, well, I'll answer that very clearly on my behalf. My class rates are between $100 and $150 a month for group classes, depending on what course you're taking from me. My private instruction rate is between $15 and $150. That's between 15 minutes and an hour class, depending on what you're taking from me, and if you're taking classes as a student or you're taking classes and you're somebody that's coming to learn a specific thing from me. So I'll get that out of the way. As it relates to others, depending if they teach in a rec center or they teach out of the garage, they teach in an affluent area of town, or they have a giant, 4,000 or 5,000 square foot studio space, or whatever they're teaching at the time is very popular or prevalent, it's going to make a difference in what it costs. And me personally, from me looking at schools here in the area, most of them on average charge around $130 an hour. That's here in the Dallas Metroplex. Not an hour, but a month, I apologize. So anyway, my prices are definitely in line with that, considering my class sizes. That's not a question that a lot of people ask, but it's something they should ask. My class sizes are between 5 and 12 people. Some courses that I teach, it's limited to 5 people. And the largest any of my class sizes are 12. It depends on the material. I'm going to make sure that once a week that you can show up to class, or the 3 times a week that you can show up to class, that you can have some of my attention just as much as the other students there. When you get over X amount of students, there's more safety issues, less time to maybe be able to ask that question you wanted to about what's going on. And so I feel that you should be able to get what you're paying for in your education. Another question that sometimes is asked, but a lot of times it's not, but it should be asked: who teaches the classes? I teach all of the classes, except if I'm either sick or I'm on a vacation or something, or I'm going for my own training. Another question that's asked a lot is, how long does it take? Well, again, that's dependent on you, how much time that you're willing to spend doing it and you're devoted to it, but how much time does it take to do what? That should be kind of the question. Fundamentally speaking, learning how to use our bodies to optimize it, and learning the foundation of whatever it is, whether it's a sport, or it is a traditional martial art, or it's a modern approach to self-defense, or it's the idea of health and wellness and learning how to unplug from our daily activities. It depends on how responsive the person is to that and how much they want to devote themselves to it on the short term. And then, so how long does it take? Well, if you're looking at a belt, and the belt is the reason for I want to get a black belt in something. Sometimes that is, you're making something about something else. You're making something about something tangible. A lot of things that you learn in a martial art class, or most of the stuff that you learn in a martial art class or health and wellness class, it's intangible. It's what it does for you, not what you get on the outside. So that's a hard question to ask, considering it really, after a period of time, if you try it for a little while, you may get something out of it. But to really get the benefits from it, it really should be something that you take on as part of your lifestyle. Whether you do it for body maintenance or for relaxation or for mental focus, or you're doing it to maintain your body's health, you have to do something to maintain those things. Whether it be, again, any of these subjects I'm discussing, or if you pick up another hobby or interest. The great thing about learning something like self-defense or a combat sport or traditional martial arts is that it's kind of twofold. On one, it's helping to maintain your health of your body. At the same time, it's also helping you learn to preserve your body. Another question that sometimes is asked and sometimes not. How long are your sign-ups? Okay. Everything I do is either by semester base or it's month to month. And there's two ways to sign up month to month, and I'll cover that in another video. And the semesters are either 3 or 4 months. I don't do any long-term contracts. I don't do contracts. And I don't do third-party billing. So I'm not going to sign you up and then provide that to a third-party billing company that's going to bill you, and then if you decide that you can't, or you say you can't afford it when it's due, and then it comes out of your account, then you get an overdraft, and the next thing you know, it snowballs into something else, or you decide you want to quit. They're going to keep drawing money from your account until you come up with some kind of an agreement with them. I don't like that. I know, and most people that teach know, that not many people stay with any of these things for a long term. A lot of them, people, 90 days, 6 months, maybe a year. But those that stay for 2, 3, 4, 5 years, or permanently keep training, those are few and far between. So I feel like I want to do my best to maximize the person's learning experience as much as I can, and at the same time, don't burden them with something that most people are not going to be able to fulfill, and it's going to ding their credit, etc. So I think those are some of the big issues. One other thing that I'd like for everybody to know that nobody ever asks, and then when I tell them, they're kind of a little surprised. There is no state licensing in Texas to be a martial art instructor. Whether you teach children or you teach adults, there's not X amount of hours that you need to prove that you've attended. If you're teaching kids, there's no check of the facilities, it's safety. There's no background checks. No one has to know first aid and safety. There's really no requirements. So it is really buyer beware. This is based on who you're taking classes from, what you're taking. If the person isn't versed in ensuring that someone could get hurt, or how the body, how the body works properly, if they don't even know basic first aid and safety, you need to ensure that at least you know that, be clear of that, and then base your decisions on who you take classes on based on that. Just because somebody's new at teaching, so they've been teaching, I don't know, less than a year or something, that person they may have a personal trainer's license, they may have first aid and safety, they may have a lot of things in place that someone who's been teaching for 3, 4, 5 years that has none of that stuff. So anyway, I hope the video was a little informative for you or helpful, and I hope that you watch my next video. And again, if you're in the Dallas area and you want to come in and try out one of my consultations and see if my classes may be a good fit for you, you're more than welcome to call me or send me an email. Thank you.